In this demo, we're going to take a look at two-layer scheduling in the form of Mesos Frameworks. And in this case, we're going to deploy an Elasticsearch framework backed by persistent external storage. And to achieve that, we are going to leverage RexRay and Mesos module DVDI. So just to describe what the Elasticsearch framework does, we'll deploy the Elasticsearch scheduler, which will analyze the Mesos cluster, and from there it will stand up the Elasticsearch cluster in the form of Elasticsearch executor nodes. By default, 3 nodes will be created that will constitute this Elasticsearch cluster. So let's go ahead and deploy the Elasticsearch scheduler right now. And we can see the schedule is already up on the air. And if we take a look at the Mesos master node, we'll see that the scheduler is running. And we're going to give it a few seconds for it to start analyzing the Mesos cluster. We can already see the first Elasticsearch executor node get created here. So this represents the first node in the Elasticsearch cluster. And it's going to throw up 3 of these nodes in total. While this is being built up, we'll go here in Amazon on EC2 and take a look at the volumes here. So we can see that the first Elasticsearch data node has been created, so the volume that's attached to this Elasticsearch executor node, and we're waiting for this to go into the running state. And now that node has gone into the running state, and from here we should see 2 more Elasticsearch executor nodes get created, and there they are. And we should see also 2 more external persistent volumes in the form of EVS volumes get created for these nodes. And we see them that they've been created, and looks like they're already attached. And one's entered the running state, and the other one should be finishing up right now, and there it is. And just by deploying an Elasticsearch scheduler, we've stood up a 3-node Elasticsearch cluster. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to go in and log into the Mesos scheduler UI, and we find out what node it's running on. And we open the UI. And from here we can see that we have 3 nodes, the amount of disk and memory that's allocated to this cluster, and not much to show. There's no data currently, so let's go ahead and change that. Alright, created our store called comic book, and let's go ahead and add the data to our store. And as this thing's populating, we should be able to look at the Elasticsearch UI and notice that we have data being funneled in. And we can see that happening right now. All right, now that we have all our data funneled in, what we're going to do next is, to mimic like the life cycle of this Elasticsearch cluster, what we're going to do is we're going to scale the Elasticsearch from 3 nodes to 4 nodes, and then watch the rebalance happen. And then if we go back to our Mesos master, we should see that we have another task staging. And we go back to our Mesos master, we see that we have another Elasticsearch executor node being staged. And then we should also see a corresponding EBS volume get created and attached to that Elasticsearch executor node. And there we go, and it's in use, so that's number 3 right here, Elasticsearch 3 data. And we see that this new node is now running in the running state, and we see that all the tasks are running here. All right, and just to verify that our Elasticsearch cluster is up and functioning, we can just do a query against it. Yep, so we have some data. So the next thing we want to do is we want to fail one of the Mesos agent nodes that is holding on to one of these executor nodes. And this is going to demonstrate how a failure within your data center. So a Mesos node is going to go offline. We're going to see the executor node move to a different Mesos agent node. The Amazon EBS volume that's housing this data will move over to that node, and we'll see a quicker recovery time of the Elasticsearch cluster because the data is being moved along with the Elasticsearch task or workload, and we should recover much quicker. Let's go ahead and do that now. So we see, just pick the first node that came up, so 165.223. Go to Amazon here, find 165.223, and let's go ahead and fail this node. And we see here in the Mesos master that we have one node that's been deactivated, and that's the failed node. And fairly shortly, we should see this bottom executor node fail and get recreated on another Mesos agent node. And there we see the failure of the executor node that was on that host. And we see that the Elasticsearch scheduler realized that there was a node failure, and now you can see that Elasticsearch executor node being restaged. And then now it's in the running state, and we should also see that that new executor node, that task, will have reattached to the data volume from that previous failed instance. And we go back to the Elasticsearch UI here, and we see that all 4 of our nodes are running and healthy, and all our data is still there. And if we do a query, we should see the same result. So this demo showcases how external persistent storage can aid in the recovery times for Mesos frameworks, and also this shows how 2-layer scheduling can completely manage the life cycle of your application with very little effort.